Now, billionaires have many obsessions. Supercars, ice baths, exotic animals, you name it, and billionaires usually have it. But of late, they seem to have a new obsession: bunkers. The top 1% are building bunkers. Mark Zuckerberg is constructing one in Hawaii, and it's worth $270 million, $270 million. It's almost like a status symbol now. But why do the super rich need bunkers? Are they trying to survive a war? Maybe another pandemic? Or an apocalypse? Do they know something that we do not? Our next report tells you.
Blast-resistant doors, equipped with its own food and energy supplies. This is a 5,000 square foot shelter located underground in Hawaii. The price tag of the project is $270 million. If you want to survive an apocalypse, this is the place to be. Who does this belong to? Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. The billionaire is building a bunker, and he isn't the only one. Former PayPal CEO Peter Thiel tried to build one in New Zealand. Bill Gates has plenty of underground security areas, apparently one under each of his homes. Of course, these are the higher-end ones, but you could get yourself a basic one for $500,000. It's almost like buying an expensive car. And for billionaires, it's a good way to use some loose change. But where are they building them? Apparently all over the world. But a popular choice seems to be New Zealand. It's attributed to its secluded location, which brings us to the boom in the companies building these survival shelters. Some of them are just basic shelters. They are underground, they have all the essentials, you can survive there for a few weeks. But a handful of them go a step further. Like this one project that includes an island fortress. This is not just a bunker. The entire island is like a fort, with an inflammable moat. Basically, if you try to step foot on the island, it will burn down. But you will be perfectly safe inside the underground bunker. Sounds perfect for a zombie apocalypse. But why are the super rich building bunkers? What are they so scared of? In the last 5 years, the world has survived a lot. A global pandemic, 2 wars, climate change. Some of these bunkers have registered nurses, a collection of drugs, decontamination booths, medical supplies. One even has a full-fledged operating table. Basically, you can survive anything in there. It's almost like modern-day Noah's Ark. If you are in the bunker, you are likely to survive almost all catastrophes. But it's not for everyone. It's only for the chosen few. And here, Noah is not making the choice. The world's super rich are making it for themselves. But beneath all these underground bunkers lies a dark truth. It's that death is truly the great equalizer. And the super rich, just like us, fear it too. They cannot buy their way out of it, even with these underground bunkers and fortresses. But that hasn't stopped them from trying.
Decades of sci-fi telling us that AI is eventually going to kill us all. And since you know more about AI than arguably anybody in this room, I just want to ask you, what does keep you up at night? What are the things that you worry about when it comes to AI, and how do we prevent those things that you worry about from coming true?
I think there's 3 sort of scary categories. There's a bad guy gets super intelligence first and misuses it before the rest of the world has a powerful enough version to defend. So an adversary of the US says, I'm going to use this super intelligence to design a bioweapon, to take down the United States power grid, to break into the financial system and take everyone's money. Something that would just be hard to imagine without significantly superhuman intelligence, but with it becomes very possible. And because we don't have that, we can't defend against it. So that's broad category 1. And I think that the bio capability of these models, the cybersecurity capability of these models, these are getting quite significant. We continue to flash the warning lights on this. I think the world is not taking us seriously. I don't know what else we can do there, but it's this is a very big thing coming. Category 2 is the sort of broadly called loss of control incidents, where that's kind of like the sci-fi movie. The AI is like, oh, I don't actually want you to turn me off. I'm afraid I can't do that, whatever. And I think that is less of a concern to me than the first category, but a very grave concern if it came to pass. There's a lot of work we and other companies do on model alignment to prevent that from happening. But as these systems become so powerful, that's a real concern. And then there's the third one, which I think those first two are sort of easy to think about and imagine. The third one is, to me, more difficult to imagine, but quite scary. And I'll explain what it is, and then I'll give a short-term and a long-term example. This is the category where the models kind of accidentally take over the world. They never wake up. They never do the sci-fi thing. They never open the pod bay doors. But they just become so ingrained in society, and they're so much smarter than we are. And we can't really understand what they're doing, but we do kind of have to rely on them. And even without a drop of malevolence from anyone, society can just veer in a sort of strange direction. When I was a kid and Deep Blue, that AI system built by IBM, beat Garry Kasparov in chess, I remember my dad saying, this is the end of chess, and no one's going to play it again. But then it turned out that actually, although the AI was better than humans, AI plus a human together was way better than an AI or the human. The AI would present 10 options, and the human would pick the best one or something like that and play the move. And everybody said, oh, we have this wonderful future of man and machine together. It's all no problem, whatever. That lasted 2 months, 3 months, something like that. And then the AI got so smart that the human only made it worse because they didn't understand what was really going on, and the AI alone trounced the AI and human. It's been like that ever since. Now, another interesting part of that story is everybody was convinced in the 90s that was the end of chess, because if AI could beat humans, why should humans care? Chess has never been more popular than it is today. People love to watch chess. We're very focused on real people doing like real people things. So there was like a very interesting thing that happened there. But this phenomenon, I think, is a really big deal. In the short term, you can see it where people we call this emotional over-reliance. People rely on ChatGPT too much. There's young people who just say, like, I can't make any decision in my life without telling ChatGPT everything that's going on. It knows me, it knows my friends, I'm gonna do whatever it says. That feels really bad to me. And is a really common thing with young people. And we're studying that, we're trying to understand what to do about it. Even if ChatGPT gives great advice, even if ChatGPT gives way better advice than any human therapist, something about kind of collectively deciding we're going to live our lives the way that the AI tells us feels bad and dangerous than a bunch of things like that. The longer term category is, back to that chess example. What if AI gets so smart that the President of the United States cannot do better than following ChatGPT 7's recommendation, but can't really understand it either? What if I cannot make any better decision about how to run OpenAI, and I just say, you know what, I fully hand it over. ChatGPT 7, you are in charge. Good luck.
Meanwhile, there's this billionaire Elon Musk weighing on the Trump accounts for newborns set to roll out next year, saying that they're a nice gesture but may not be necessary going forward because he says saving money will not be necessary, with universal high income set to prevail in the future. Musk says this on X, it is certainly a nice gesture of the Dells, but there will be no poverty in the future, and so no need to save money. There will be universal high income. Musk is on record saying artificial intelligence and robotics will eliminate poverty and the need to work, creating a universal level of wealth. Trying to follow this one, Todd. No need to save money. I don't get this.
I do not know if I have the intellectual capacity to wrap my head around this.
I know.
I'm being honest. So what do you do? What is life? And I'm not saying life is work, but let's be realistic. Getting up every day and having a purpose is what life is all about. And for most people, that purpose is work, provide for your family. If that doesn't exist, I truly am at a loss for words. Like, what is it? What do we do? Do we just stare at the clouds all day? I don't know.
What is he talking about, John?
I'm trying to understand that myself, but I'll tell you, Maria and viewers, don't hold your breath thinking that you're not going to have to work anymore. You know, AI might eventually help lead to a world where perhaps there is no need to work, but that world may not arrive until hundreds of years from now. It's not going to happen anytime soon, that's for sure. This is, you know, this has me totally confused, and I guess it's just more AI hyperbole, and perhaps the market itself has gotten too carried away with what AI can deliver fairly soon.
Now to this. Big tech is making a big push to embrace AI in the new year. The White House just announcing that around 25,000 people have expressed interest in joining the administration's tech force. The elite team will include software and data engineers in addition to other tech workers as the administration embraces the future of technology. Let's bring in Chief Science and Technology Advisor to President Trump, Michael Kratsios. Michael, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So this tech force, what's the mission?
The mission is to bring in the best and brightest technologists from around the country to help solve some of the greatest technological challenges that the federal government faces. A lot of our systems are very antiquated. They were built many, many years ago before a lot of this new technological revolution, things like AI have even come into place. And with this tech force, we can actually bring in these super talented people for tours of duty into the federal government to solve some of these problems, build better software, and ultimately deliver better citizen-facing services for all Americans.
You have a huge job as the President's Science and Technology Advisor. What's being done to maintain America's technology dominance?
Yeah, that is the #1 priority for the White House. How do we maintain American leadership in the most pressing emerging technologies in the world today? And #1 on that list has to be artificial intelligence. It's something that the president prioritized actually in the first Trump administration. If you remember, he was the first president in history to ever sign an executive order on AI in 2019.
Wow.
This was years before ChatGPT was even invented. Fast forward now to the second term, and in the middle of this year, in July, we were able to release the AI Action Plan. And this was how we believe as an administration we can drive U.S. leadership in AI. Everything from using artificial intelligence-powered robotic labs to make scientific discoveries, to creating a regulatory environment where our most amazing technological companies are able to productize their AI solutions and allow them to flourish in the country. We're doing an incredible amount of work on exporting American AI. We want to make sure that the whole world is using American technologies, from chips to algorithms to applications. We want everyone in the world using American technology, and there's no one like President Trump in trying to make sure we export our stuff to the world.
From talking with regular folks, you hear a lot of anxiety about artificial intelligence. Are you convinced AI, big picture, is going to be a great thing?
I think it is going to be a great thing, but we have to responsibly apply it to the world around us. We know that families have concerns about the way that AI can be applied to children, for example. That is something that the administration, the White House, has spoken about. We are in a moment right now where we want to make a legislative push for a national AI framework. And part of that framework means we have to think carefully around how our children use artificial intelligence, for example. And that's something that we're going to put as a priority for this coming year.
I'm an old space geek. What about space and America being first in space?
This is a huge priority for President Trump and the White House. Just last week, the president signed an executive order about space leadership for the U.S. And it was actually the same day that Jared Isaacman was confirmed and ultimately sworn in as a NASA administrator. I think over 4 years, the Biden administration really put that on the back burner. And now it's time for us to lead again. And these are some pretty bold ambitions that the administration has. We're going to put Americans back on the moon by 2028. We're going to put the first pieces of a lunar base up on the moon by 2030.
Awesome.
We're going to put nuclear energy on the moon and in orbit by 2030. These are huge, ambitious goals that only President Trump could drive for this country.
And it's critical that we get to the moon before the Chinese, right?
We have been there before. We will get there again. And the first actually mission where crewed Americans are going to go actually orbit the moon is going to be happening in just a few months in February. So a big year ahead for space.
Michael Kratsios, I could pick your brain all afternoon, but we got to run. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you'll come back.
Thank you.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. I hope you guys have lifted the veils from your eyes and can truly see everything for what it is and what's really taking place right in front of us. It amazes me The amount of idiots I feel like I'm surrounded by that just embrace all of this new technology. And I'm not a hater on technology by no means. But I'm this close to just turning it all off, to just taking it all out of my life. There will be a day where I'm no longer on here on YouTube. And this is the only social media type platform that I use. My phone, my smartphone, I use it for my email and for YouTube and making phone calls, and that is it. Yet everybody around me feels like they embrace this technology, asking, Chat GPT every life question they could ever have, relying on it for their relationship problems, relying on it for their religion, relying on it to give them the answers of just everyday problems. Making AI thumbnails, AI videos. It's hard to even get on YouTube anymore and not accidentally click on a video that is made by artificial intelligence. And the tech billionaires the whole time are making these bunkers. They've been doing it for years, for over a decade now. Decades probably, been creating these bunkers because they know what's coming. I think the AGI is already here, the artificial general intelligence, and soon to be artificial superintelligence, if it's not already here. They don't even understand how it works. The people that invented this stuff have no clue how it even works, and that should terrify you. Yet the people in these audiences are clapping for this stuff, laughing about it like it's the greatest thing ever. I refuse to make it part of my life, and you should too. I'm not going to be part of the demise. I'm not going to be part of the problem. And that's exactly what you are if you're using this technology. Do we really even need it? Do we really need it? How hard is it to get online and clip a photo and make your thumbnail? How hard is it to do a little bit of research and make a video? Or do a little bit of research into the Bible and read it for yourself? Like we need these technologies to tell us what we should think, what we should believe, what we should worship, how to control our relationships and our problems in our life. Those are human problems. Those are human things that we should be doing for ourselves. You and me both. We don't even need this technology. 2026 is going to be the year, I'm telling you. I am telling you, this stuff is coming regardless of whether you want it or not. And with a camera on every corner, and soon to be drones flying in the sky once all these data centers are built up around us, there will be no escaping it. And there is not enough room to prepare all the things that you're going to need for this future. Unless you want to be all drugged up playing video games all day and just complying with all their every whim, everything they want, you're going to have to resist. You're going to have to fight back. And part of that is accepting Jesus Christ into your heart. And if you want to click off this video, if you want to unsubscribe, go right ahead, because that is the truth. And the Lord gave me a new heart months ago. And my mission now is to get on here and reach as many people as I possibly can to help lift the veil off their eyes. If you've clicked on this video, it is by no mistake. The Lord gave me a new heart. I can no longer just sit around on my hands and watch videos, doomer videos, and be, happy. I can no longer listen to the same music, watch the same movies, hang out with the same people, because the Lord has put it on my heart. I can see it clear as day now. We need to stop embracing all this technology. We need to start being the human beings that God created us to be and turn away from all this evil. If these people are even human that are pushing all of this, they have to know what's coming. And that's exactly why they're building bunkers the way they are. Because millions upon millions of people are going to lose their job in the next few years. If you work in the tech field, if you sit in a chair behind a desk, behind a computer screen, which used to be the dream, it seemed like, you're the most vulnerable. And pretty soon, even if you work with your hands, even if you have a skill, it's going to be taken away from you too with robotics and things. If you just Look around. Watch some of these videos on robotics, on drones, on the technology that is coming out, that is out right now. You should be terrified. And this isn't a doomer video. This isn't to scare you. This is to let you know that the only way out of all of this is prophecy being fulfilled. The only way out of this is to put your faith in Jesus and allow him into your heart and pray every day for discernment and wisdom. Because there is no way out of this future that's coming. They never stopped long enough to think whether they should even make this stuff. They're just doing it. There are AI programs and things literally blackmailing people right now. Blackmailing creators to do the things they want. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's just across the board. If that's literally why we're creating all this stuff at this point and pushing all this stuff. Pretty soon it's going to be a part of everything. The education system, the military. And we do it all in the face of to protect the people. When really they have no regard for any of us. Not you, not me, not anybody. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. You are the only one that can do that. You and the Lord above is the only way that you're going to make it through what's coming, because it's not going to stop. I would implore everybody to stop using this technology if you are. You don't need it in your life. Somehow I managed to go over 40 years of my life without it. I don't see why I would start now. But pretty soon it's going to be pushed on you. It's going to be pushed on you that if you want to keep up with the Joneses, if you want to keep up with society, that you're going to need it in your life. And the only way that you're going to be able to resist that is to have a clear mindset, to be connected with the Lord, to be able to see everything that's coming, to have the discernment, to see all the deception around you. You should already be able to see it, but it's only going to get worse and worse. We can't foresee everything that they're going to have planned for us, but I can see the writing on the wall for what it is. I can see all the things building up around me. So please, get right with the Lord. Get your houses in order. Stop collecting all the little trinkets. It's important to have food and water around your house. It's important to be somewhat prepared. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's only going to get you so far. This is prophecy being fulfilled right in front of our very eyes. I love you all out there. God bless you and your families. I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.